Hi, so my name is Maysa Phares. I work for Farrells, and tonight I just wanted to talk to you about a project we've done in Manchester that kind of encapsulates what you can do, how a master planning opportunity of a significant size can really drive some ambitious aspirations for extending a city centre. Manchester is not a smaller city, it's not a town, but it has a city centre that has tremendous opportunities to grow and unlock opportunities to the north of Manchester. In red here is the outline of the site. So this is a sizable chunk of land, about 158 hectares, and compared to the site, the area of the city centre, which is outlined in purple underneath, you can see that it compares quite strikingly. And this opportunity is really driven by two joint venture partners, which are Manchester City Council and Far East Consortium, who are a developer. So the wider aspiration for tackling this site for Manchester City Council is to then really try to unlock some of the regeneration opportunities in North Manchester, in some of the more perhaps forgotten towns of North Manchester. Right now, the centre of gravity of development in Manchester is towards the southwest, and hopefully this will rebalance things a little bit towards the north. The Northern Gateway today is an interesting variety of landscapes. It's a really interesting 2-kilometre transect that transitions from a very kind of man-made industrial southern part of the site up to a more looser kind of fabric to the north, which is predominantly low-density residential areas that are primarily council-owned. And amidst this landscape is a river corridor that has been a huge part of the Industrial Revolution in Manchester, the River Irk, but over the years has become a forgotten asset that really kind of needs to be tapped into and really rediscovered. And these are some pictures of the River Irk as it is today. And obviously some of these railway structures are quite striking, and they crisscross the site in a way that's really interesting and that we've tried to capture in terms of reusing industrial heritage. Well, that's unfortunate, but in essence, the vision for the site is to create a series of vibrant neighbourhoods or enhance existing ones, create a mix of housing options and enhance connectivity, but also to capture the opportunity of that valley corridor that really goes from the north to the south to the site and links back to a wider network of open spaces in Manchester. How do we achieve that? So what we've done for the City Council and Far East Consortium is a strategic regeneration framework, which is actually being consulted on as we speak, and at the end of the year hopefully will be adopted as guiding policy effectively to guide development in the future. So these are some of the themes that we've developed for how to achieve some of these ambitions. Obviously, one is to build residential-led city neighbourhoods. That means creating neighbourhoods that are integrated and that can support a variety of retail, services, community infrastructure, and open spaces. That means that they are thriving and vibrant and that they are sustainable in the long term. Delivering social and community infrastructure is obviously at the core of and really paramount to achieving successful neighbourhoods. Right now, a resident in Collyhurst, which is in the north part of this site, will have to travel quite a bit to get a loaf of bread. So it's about increasing density, but for a reason that is to support a really sustainable level of amenity, perhaps not to that level of intensity everywhere, but to a level that is convenient for people. And that's just the plan that I won't dwell on. But core to that approach is site-wide to make these areas really kind of sustainable, is to improve the linkages and the cycle, pedestrian connectivity, sustainable movement, bus, transit. And that's part of it is obviously to capture this river valley and to enhance it and restore it in a way that it can be used as a valid and desirable mode of transportation, or at least recreation through the site. And that's what this drawing encapsulates, and that's the wider transport plan, which I won't, again, walk you through in great detail, but the big idea is to really enhance north-south, east-west connectivity. And obviously part of that approach is to urbanize areas of the site that have been cleared and have become really nearly motorways over time. This is Rochdale Road. It once was a really kind of compact urban environment, and once in history, actually in the 20th century, it was kind of cleared to become upgraded, I think, to become a motorway, which it never did. The result is that, and that can be a bit more urban, and the fact that Manchester have taken that opportunity to regenerate such a large area means that they can engage with stakeholders that can have a real impact in making this whole axis from the north to the south into a real urban avenue. Another theme is obviously to enhance the green-blue infrastructure and public realm across the Northern Gateway. Manchester is lacking at the moment in open spaces of a sizable open spaces that have the level of amenity that a river valley can offer. And so the part of this regeneration venture is to try to bring, again, the environmental stakeholders around the table and to make sure that the river valley can be restored. And that means restoring it upstream. That means engaging with wider authorities and making sure that that gets done. How am I doing? Okay. 7 minutes. Okay. And that's what it can look like. And then finally, creation of place. And that's about really building on what's there. The Northern Gateway, the south part of the site, is really quite distinct because of a disused viaduct, but also some operational railway viaducts that are currently occupied by some local businesses, which Manchester City Council are really keen to retain and actually build on that offer. Some of them are breweries, so it could be a brewery corridor, there's a distillery, there's a lot happening, but actually it's not really being capitalized upon at the moment, and that's part of this idea of capitalizing on industrial heritage and creating place. And I will stop here.